I played the Horse Ranch expansion pack again. This is my sim, Hank Welcher, getting woken up at 4:15 in the morning by his dog Bernie. Bernie has a habit of barking at Sims in the middle of the night and waking them up. While Hank was up, I had him use the toilet. I sent Hank back to bed and decided to update some settings. Since I had him try for a baby with Shelly, I figured I should probably turn on aging, but I decided to go with a long lifespan. I feel like that fits the vibe of this save, taking my time, doing everything slowly. At 7:30, I had Hank get up. He'd slept in late enough and his needs, as well as the farm, needed taken care of. Hank fought for his life making breakfast, and it didn't really turn out great, but he choked it down. But now that Hank is all taken care of, it's time to take care of Bucket. She needs some social interaction, she needs some fun, and she needs to eat. She also needs her bed cleaned. But look who's calling, it's Shelly Jennings. She wants to go on a date. I wonder if she's pregnant. You know what, let's go. And she brought him to a gay bar. This club is called Gays and Theys. It's in Willow Creek. It certainly is a different kind of scene than what Hank is used to. Interesting choice, Shelly. Nonetheless, he's on a date with his girl. He's gonna focus on her. And I figured since we're on a date, we might as well go ahead and complete some love day goals. Shelly doesn't look pregnant. Usually when a sim is pregnant, they get a noticeable little baby bump. I don't see that on Shelly. I don't think she's pregnant. They went inside and Hank immediately noticed the decor. He doesn't really understand it, but he's not here to hate. He's here on a date. He decided to publicly announce his love for Shelly, and she didn't really like that. Felt like maybe he was trying to overcompensate for the fact that he's at a gay bar. He doesn't want anyone to think he's gay, so he's publicly announcing that he's straight. She was kind of put off by that. After chatting for a while, they had a nice dance, and then Hank ordered a couple of barley bales for himself and his date. Sitting at the bar was Ando Nakamura, who some of you might recognize from my Not So Berry videos, and bartending is his wife, Iris. There were a few more Sims here, Dylan Skinner, Michael Bolton, and Esteban Solomon. Hank introduced himself to everyone, and then him and Shelly went upstairs to check out the DJ. They danced for a short while, and the date ended, and Shelly seems to have had a really good time. But as fun as that date was, we have to send Hank back home. The ranch needs him, and the chores aren't going to do themselves while he's out dancing at the club with his girlfriend. When Hank got home, he immediately got started where he left off, taking care of Bucket. For whatever reason, Bucket decided to eat the wild grass instead of her hay. Whatever, we're gonna roll with it. And Hank figured now was a good time to go ahead and call that ranch hand and have them start working. They said they'd be right over. Meanwhile, Hank got started on cleaning Bucket's bed. The ranch hand arrived, looking very broody. Their name is Larry Torres. The very first thing they did upon arrival was walk into the house and start dancing to the radio. Yes, that's exactly why I hired you. Hank needed to use the restroom anyway, so as a power move, I had him turn off the radio on his way through. And then Larry followed him into the restroom. Sir, what did you expect to see here? Get out. I hired you to take care of my animals, and so far all you've done is dance to the radio and walk in on me in the restroom. Well here, since you're not taking care of my horse, I guess I will. Bucket's fun is really low, so let me see if she can play with this ball now. Oh, what's that, Larry? You canceled out my interaction with the horse to do your own interaction with the horse? Whatever. Fine, take care of the horse. That is what you're being paid for after all. You know what? Maybe the ranch hand just needs more work. Let's get some chickens. What did we say? 1 rooster and 2 hens? Yeah, let's start there. And maybe we'll hatch more. I also decided to enable the Simple Living Lot Challenge. I think that just makes sense for this ranch. What could possibly go wrong? After feeding the chickens, Hank spent a little bit of time with Bucket, but Bernie got into the chicken feed and got himself all dirty. After that, Bernie needed a bath, and there's not a bathtub on this lot, so Hank bought one and put it in the yard right next to the chicken coop. After it got dark, Hank and Bucket practiced riding around the barrels a little bit. He just needed to get some quick riding practice in before retiring for the night. I don't know why, but for some reason the ranch hand stayed on my lot until 3 o'clock in the morning, even though they're only supposed to work from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. It was his first day. I called him in the afternoon. Maybe that's why. Maybe he has to work 12 hours no matter what. I don't know what his employment contract is like. The next morning, Hank woke up at 5 a.m. for practically no reason. I don't understand why he woke up, so I had him go right back to bed, but he only slept for an hour before Bernie woke him up with his barking. Thankfully though, today was the day that Bernie learned not to wake up Sims. Unfortunately, potty training hasn't quite taken yet, but it looks like Bernie is starting to get it. Hank had some more of that leftover Panda Campo for breakfast. I can't believe he still has that. We also collected cracked a couple of eggs. That'll be breakfast tomorrow. Very good. And then it was time to feed breakfast to the chickens. Hank figured it's a beautiful morning, it's a great day to go out for a ride, and that's exactly what he did. And he took Bucket on another adventure down to Dreadhorse Cavern. And of course, he went inside. First, he encountered a bear that challenged him to an arm wrestling match. Feeling confident, Hank went for offense instead of defense, and he dealt damage to the bear. Repeating that strategy defeated the bear, and Hank advanced through the cave, where he was challenged to a dance battle by a giant spider. Hank opted for offense and defeated the creature, advancing further into the cave. Next, he encountered a skeleton that challenged him to a rat battle. He opted for offense again, but this time the skeleton did damage to Hank. Next, he chose defense and a chance to heal, and the skeleton abandoned its pursuit, allowing Hank to advance further into the cave, where he finally encountered a door with writing on it that said "Speak Ba and enter." Unfortunately, he didn't have anything on him that speaks Ba and was forced to leave the cave. I knew he was going to need a many sheep in his inventory for one of the challenges in the cave. I guess this is that challenge, isn't it? Alright, well, I guess we'll just make sure Hank has a many sheep in his inventory next time we come back. After that adventure, I figured I'd let Hank and Bucket enter another endurance race. They previously won the beginner endurance race, and I wanted to try something a little more advanced. So I had them do an intermediate race. Again, Hank dismounted the horse to interact with the community board, causing him and Bucket to depart for the race separately. And they didn't even place. What? I guess their skills aren't high enough yet. Hank got a little too big for his britches there. Alright, we'll stick with beginner competitions for now. When Hank got home, he was hungry and he had a little bit of fruit in his inventory, so I had him make himself some fruit salad. The chickens had laid more eggs, so Hank collected those and cleaned the coop, and then he spent a little time grooming and cleaning Bucket. Finally, after a long day's work, when Hank was headed to bed, he collapsed on his living room floor. This man was literally on his way to bed and he passed out. Eventually, he made it, and I figured that's a great place to end this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.